This week on WestfordCAT News, a school committee member and the president of the teachers union clash.
I absolutely agree. You have a First Amendment right to do this.
Correct.
But do this deliberately in a way to shield transparency, call me out, and then here refuse to answer any questions.
The select board members have a moment of levity while learning what a fence viewer is.
I think the public should understand what a fence viewer is.
Yes. Would you like to explain that, Jim?
The Board of Health brings us sobering information about the coronavirus. Stay tuned. WestfordCAT News is next. I'm Joyce Polino Crane, News Director at WestfordCAT. At the March 9th school committee meeting, Mike Coulson, president of the Westford Education Association, confronted school committee member Megan Eckroth about school-related information she posted on a private Facebook page. Coulson said 3 of Eckroth's friends gave him access to the page, which mentioned an ongoing contract issue between the school committee members and Superintendent Everett V. Olson, who was recently denied an extension to his contract, which ends June 30th. Due to illness, Olson did not attend the meeting. Here's the exchange between Eckroth and Coulson.
I have a question, Megan. It's specifically for you, so it's around your Facebook post. The one that starts, it's Super Tuesday, everybody get out and vote. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I do.
All right, it goes on to say, I'm going to read pieces of it.
Okay.
I posted this on my private page and not my school committee public page, as I do not wish to have this shared in a Facebook group I am not a member of or any other public group. There are several Facebook groups out there that contain alias accounts posting one-sided information related to all of this. I'm skipping to the end. One is moderated by the president of the teachers union. Another is moderated by a resident running for school committee. If that doesn't concern you, I respectfully add this definition here. Conflict of interest, a situation in which the concerns or aims of 2 different parties are incompatible. I'd like you to explain that a little bit.
I'd like to ask our chair if I'm going to
No
in this.
explanation needed. That's her private account, and she posts as she wishes.
So she's decided to call me out personally, though, for a conflict of interest for my freedom of speech, for association rights, for running a Facebook page that has no aliases, no fake fictitious accounts. My name is next to each one of those posts. So when you call me and the association out and say it's a conflict of interest and do it on your personal page, and the First Amendment's a beautiful thing, I absolutely agree. You have a First Amendment right to do this.
Correct.
But do this deliberately in a way to shield transparency, call me out, and then here refuse to answer any questions. I think you owe me an apology and owe everybody in the association an apology for this.
I don't think
I didn't call the association out, and I'm not going to do this, but can I just ask how you got that? Because it is my private Facebook account.
Yeah, I'm going to decline to answer that question.
Then
Okay,
I
so
would respectfully decline to answer yours as well.
Okay. No, I will answer the question then. It was shared by 3 people that you're friends with me.
That was their choice. It's my private Facebook page.
This is abhorrent.
Thank you.
Offended. I'm offended by this.
To watch the entire school committee meeting on demand, visit westfordcat.org. Resident Jim Gazzo waited patiently on March 10th for the select board to take up the matter of appointing a fence viewer, something few of the town officials knew anything about. Here's Gazzo explaining what a fence viewer does.
I think the public should understand what a fence viewer is.
Would you like to explain that, Jim?
Mass General Law, Chapter 49, the first half of that chapter defines fence viewers and their purpose. It dates back to colonial times, pre-United States, back in the late 1600s in Massachusetts, that the mayor or the selectman of every town had to appoint at least 2 fence viewers. And they were supposed to arbitrate disputes between neighbors with stone walls that kept the sheep from the goats and the pigs from the horses and all that. And they had authority to essentially make decisions as far as if one neighbor wouldn't repair the stone wall, then the other one would do it and charge the first one double the cost and all that. It's changed a lot since then. There's not as much horses and pigs violating fence boundaries, but essentially we are still kind of assistance to the, if people ask for assistance in negotiating with a neighbor about a fence, whether it's a spite fence or whether it's a 6-foot fence or a 4-foot fence.
The Select Board unanimously approved Gazzo's appointment. To watch the entire Select Board's meeting, visit WestfordCAT.org. The coronavirus is on everyone's mind, but none more so than the town's health director, Jeff Stevens. Here he is reporting to the Board of Health at their March 9th meeting.
The biggest reason why we were having the meeting tonight is I just felt that we needed to make sure we're discussing coronavirus, COVID-19 this year and now, mainly because it is clearly becoming a bigger issue, and as further testing goes on, we're seeing more and more cases. In the U.S., there's 423 confirmed by the CDC. It's probably more than that right now, which will get updated sometime tomorrow, and we've got, I believe, 41 in Massachusetts right now, 1 confirmed and 40 presumptive. What we're trying to do in town is we just want to let everybody know that we're working with all departments. We started to meet last week, and we're working on continuity of operations plans. I think it's very unlikely that we'll actually have to get to the point where we're worried about that, but it's a really good time to dust off those plans to make sure that the schools are getting cleaned with a certain protocol, public buildings are getting cleaned, making sure that the senior center has all the materials that they need and they've got a protocol, and we've been in touch with them. And we're going to be meeting probably weekly just to make sure that the town is covering really all its bases, that we can make sure that we can stay operational and give everybody all the information they really need. Anybody have any thoughts or questions on what's happening so far?
So, I mean, I just have questions coming up when we get to the mitigation phase, when we start to have to make tough decisions about games, whether or not we can either hold them or whether they're going to be without fans, whether we're going to allow certain events to happen in town. Who's going to make that decision? Is it going to be something we're going to wait for the state to hand down recommendations for, or are we going to?
My personal opinion and what I would like to see is, unless we know that there is a local outbreak where we can make an immediate decision, which I think I would recommend that we do, we follow the state and federal guidance word for word as needed until we get to the point, and I'm hopeful that we don't have to make our own local guidance at that point. But I do know that the school department and the town are ready to do that. I can tell you already that all international travel at the schools has already been canceled. Yeah. That's done. That decision's been made, and there hasn't been any discussion on games yet. Fortunately, in the spring, most of your games are outside, your track and fields, your baseballs, so the risk is slightly lower, and you don't have the gymnasium full of basketball in that aspect. So we're fortunate that at this time we don't have any cases in town. That may change. When it does, that's going to be HIPAA protected information, but it's good to know that right now we don't. And we'll just move forward day by day, week by week on what we can give out for information.
To watch the entire Board of Health meeting on demand, visit WestfordCAT.org. To find out more information on COVID-19, go to the Centers for Disease Control's website at cdc.gov. Twinkie, a 6-year-old domestic short-hair cat, is in need of a loving home. Here is Westford Cat's production coordinator, Patty Stocker, with more.
Twinkie is an independent and inquisitive 6-year-old cat looking for a quiet forever home. Here is the Lowell Humane Society's marketing and fundraising manager, Crystal Arnott, with more.
Hi, Crystal Arnott here with the Lowell Humane Society. I'm here today with Twinkie. Twinkie is a 6-year-old domestic short-haired cat, and he's looking for a family to call his own. He's been at the shelter with us here for a few months now. He came into the shelter and he was extremely shy and fearful. We sent him into a foster home to get to know him a little bit better, and luckily he came right out of his shell and let us know exactly what types of things he likes. We have found out that he's a big fan of mouse toys. He loves to chase mouse toys all over the house, and he sometimes can be found carrying them around the house in his mouth. He'll request for play by bringing them to you. He's a very independent cat and very curious, but he is nervous in new situations, so his new family will definitely need to keep that in mind and let him adjust to his new surroundings at his own pace. He also really loves laser pointers and loves to chase those around the house and play with those. He can probably go to a home with older, respectful children. He doesn't like to be held or really kept tight, and he doesn't like to sit on your lap, but he does like to lounge next to you and be pet. He'll do best in a home without other pets. He's not a big fan of living with other animals. And we are looking for a home that has an established relationship with a veterinarian because he has a history of cystitis. It is under control now on a special diet, so he'll need to continue on that special diet to stay healthy.
If you think you'd like to provide Twinkie with his forever home, or would like more information on donating to or volunteering at the Lowell Humane Society, visit them Tuesday through Sunday at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell. Call 978-452-7781 or visit lowellhumanesociety.org. You can also find them on Facebook. For WestfordCAT, I'm Patty Stalker.
That's it for now, Westford. I'm Joyce Polino Crane, and you're watching WestfordCAT News.